Hey there, thanks for tuning in. So today I want to share with you the story of how I became a health coach and offer some lessons that I learned throughout the process. So if you are thinking about becoming a health coach, this video is totally for you. As I share my personal story and what I went through, I hope that you'll be inspired to either go for it or to maybe decide that health coaching isn't for you. So let's start with where I was about 15 years ago, which was when my journey to becoming a health coach really started. I was working in public relations. I was managing a communications team in a government agency. I had 2 university degrees, and according to the plan, I was doing pretty well for that stage in my career. I was in management and I was being groomed to continue climbing the corporate ladder and to take on more senior roles. But to be honest, I was pretty miserable. I didn't love the work. I wasn't passionate about the mission of the organization. And deep down, I really felt like there was some other work I was meant to be doing in the world. There were some aspects of the job that I did enjoy, things like the coaching, the mentoring, and the team building that I got to do with my team. And I did have a good salary and benefits. But all of the pressure, the lack of passion, and a bit of this sort of feeling trapped by the golden handcuffs started to take a toll on my physical and my mental health, and also on my relationships. I felt sick all the time. I was gaining weight. I'd end up in tears at the end of the day, and I had no energy for anything else in life. I knew that I couldn't sit at that desk for another 23 years until I could get my pension and retire. That honestly felt like a little bit of a death sentence to me. So I knew I had to do something. I started a real deep self-exploration journey to answer the questions. Number 1, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And what am I really passionate about? So I really wanted to answer those 2 questions for myself. So I did lots of things. I read books on finding your calling. I attended workshops. I joined Facebook groups. I journaled. I went on retreats. I created vision boards, all in an attempt to learn about myself and manifest my dream job. So during one of the retreats I went on, I met a woman who introduced herself as a health coach. I had never heard of a health coach at that time. Now remember, this was close to 15 years ago. And I was intrigued, so she and I connected on Facebook. And she posted a video from IIN, the health coaching school that she went to. I watched the video and I was amazed. It truly brought together everything that I was really interested in my personal life. Things like nutrition and holistic health, alternative modalities, physical movement, spirituality, all that good stuff. And I was pretty excited, and I felt like I really needed to take the training, that was really the next step for me in trying to figure this all out. So I signed up for IIN's year-long health coach training program. I planned to do the course while I was still working, just to feel it out, to see if it would be something that I wanted to pursue. But honestly, at that time, I didn't know if I'd ever leave the comfort and safety of my good job to go out on my own and do this unknown thing called health coaching. I'm 100% an introvert and not very entrepreneurial, so it was a big stretch to think that I would start my own business as a health coach. So at the time though, things were getting worse at work. I was burnt out, I was stressed out, and I honestly didn't know how much longer I could really stick with it. I didn't feel like I had the energy or mindset to come home from all of that and study health coaching. But the thought of being able to leave that job where I was so miserable and do something that I was passionate about was pretty exciting to me. I felt at the time, if I was fairly successful at something I didn't love, think about how successful I could be at something I did love. So my husband and I sat down and we decided that we'd put away some money for a few months and that I would leave my job and try to give this health coaching thing a go. And the deal was that I would have a practice up and running in a year, just like IIN said I could do. So I changed my start date at IIN, I gave my notice at work, and I left that year just before Christmas, and I dove into IIN, the training, full-time in January. And honestly, I really gave it my all. I studied hard, I followed IIN's every step along the way and did exactly what they said when I should do it, and what I should do. So halfway through the program that next summer, I launched my practice with a website, with a social media presence. I started to build my email list and sending regular newsletters. And I joined a networking group to start connecting locally. I also created some programs like a 10-day cleanse and started to offer that. I really just needed to get the word out there and start getting clients. So by the time I graduated from IIN 6 months later, I had about 12 clients at various stages in my 6-month program. So I truly did achieve my goal of having an actual practice up and running within the year. And it did go on to grow from there. Of course, over the years, my practice has gone through a variety of different iterations. Over the last 10 years, I've had various signature programs, different audiences and niches. And I've also gone on to do other trainings and certifications. I've definitely had some ups and downs, but I do not regret my decision to leave the 9-to-5 world. I really do love this work. I believe that helping others reclaim their health and well-being is one of the most rewarding things that we can do. It's so powerful. My brain works meaning and purpose to my life. I don't have kids, so I do get a lot of meaning and purpose from my work. I also love the flexibility to do this work from anywhere in the world, all from a laptop, and to have flexible and varied work hours and schedule. I have freedom, I have flexibility, and I'm making an impact. So it's definitely all been worth it for me. So I wanted to boil all of that down into 7 lessons that I've learned along the way that I want to share with you so you can factor these into your decision to become a health coach. The first lesson is do some deep self-exploration. Typically, if you want to be a health coach, you love this kind of work and are already pretty familiar with yourself. But, do the personality tests, do career and values assessments, get creative with vision boards and journaling about your heart's desire. Get really clear on what your vision for your life is. The second lesson is to do some research into health coaching schools. There are so many different schools and trainings out there. If you're just getting started in this field, then I do think that IIN is a good choice and a solid intro into this space. But there are so many great other options out there based on your specific needs and desires, your background and expertise so far. So do your homework, read the reviews, talk to people who have taken the various courses. I think that Facebook groups for health coaches are a great place for this type of research. But the bottom line is fully research all the possibilities to decide on the right school for you. My third lesson is to really trust the process. So whatever training you do land on, give it your all and trust their process. Do what they say. As I mentioned before, I did everything IIN said I should do every step along the way, and it absolutely worked for me. Also, take advantage of all the opportunities your school offers to get practice. Get everything that you can out of the time you dedicate to your health coaching education, and be your own first client. The fourth lesson is to start coaching. So after you do that initial training, I highly recommend that you actually start coaching. You will be fully trained at that point and have everything that you need to start. So start. Launch your practice, get a few initial clients, and practice as much as you can. Take all of the opportunities that are presenting themselves to you to just do something. It won't be perfect in the beginning, but you're going to learn a lot about yourself as a coach. And then my fifth lesson follows from that. Yes, do get some additional training. So once you've coached for a bit and you have a sense of where those gaps might be for you, then you can decide on what further training you need. Is it more on coaching skills, your process and structure? Is it more nutrition education? Do you want to expand your scope of practice with additional modalities or areas of expertise? Do you need help with marketing? As coaches, we are typically lifelong learners. There's always more great training to do, but don't let more training be an excuse for getting started. Get out there and start doing something. So the sixth lesson I have is don't quit your day job. So you may be wondering about this one since I shared earlier that I did indeed quit my day job. I have the great fortune to have an amazing husband who's a great provider and has a really successful osteopathy practice. We don't have kids, We're big savers and not big spenders. So we decided together, after putting some money aside, that I would quit my day job to pursue health coaching. But I don't recommend this if you don't have a solid financial foundation. Stick with your day job until you can build up your practice to a place that it can replace your income from your current job, or, be something that is reasonably similar. My 7th lesson is be willing to work hard. I hear a lot of new coaches saying that they want to work a few hours a day, and lots of marketers out there promising that we can work less to make more. I honestly worked 24/7 for the first number of years of my business. Now 10 years later, I still work really hard at it. Going from zero to profitable in a thriving coaching practice ain't happening overnight. There's always more to be done. So being an online health coach is not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of persistence, resilience, stamina, and dedication. And is it worth it? For me, the answer is definitely yes. So I hope these lessons that I learned as I became a health coach have been helpful for you. Drop me a note in the comments and let me know where you are in the process. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Thanks so much for tuning in and have a great day.